We had 40 some. There you go.
You're live.
All righty.
Hey, this was not our fault. I swear to God. This was. Hold on. You gotta.
There we go.
We got it.
Well, Tyler's back producing the show. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. We Whew, that was a
All right, just breathe, brother. You made it.
That was not something we've ever experienced before.
Hey, you know
No.
what? Problem solvers here.
StreamYard was only working with chat. It was not working with audio or video. And we reset it, and that didn't work. I had to sit there and shut down the whole entire stream.
Yeah.
And then I feel sorry for our guest because we ended up booting him out. And
This is classic Bourbon and Ballz.
Someone give
Dude,
Charlie
that's
a
not
hug.
our fault.
I know, but it's
Chad,
still.
you're closest. Give Charlie a hug.
Oh,
No, don't touch.
Now the chat's saying you need a hug.
No, we don't.
You need a little
Little
cuddle, man.
All right. Well, while I decompress, we're gonna have Tyler, our producer, bring us all in with the chat. Thank you guys for switching over and finding us.
Just breathe, brother. Take a drink.
Poor Chad in the background, like this is what they do every week.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Chad, when we bring you back on here, this is not normal. You know what? I shouldn't say that because our chat will be like, I disagree.
Yeah,
I
totally disagree.
Yeah,
All right.
I disagree.
Tyler, bring us in.
All right. Cheers, tore up. And we will be doing the hashtag pregame still.
Yes,
We'll
we'll
do
give
that.
people some minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so put in hashtag pregame if you haven't done it already.
Yeah, this is a free way of getting for you latecomers. We'll run that at right before we bring chat on.
All right.
Thank you guys for hanging on and being flexible.
Yes. Cheers,
Appreciate it.
Gerald. Cheers, Dave Vogelsang. Cheers, Gary. Cheers, Dave. Cheers, Elijah Craig. Then we have Chris Blankenship. Cheers. Patrick Littledew.
What?
That's a doozy.
John Lagallo.
Man.
Cheers.
We're here. Just sit
Jay
back and
Renstrom,
relax. Just
cheers.
Enjoy the show.
Snow Baboon. Cheers. David B. Cheers. We have Christy Romine. Cheers. Whiskey Nose. Cheers. Glad to see you here.
We're good.
Mr. Richie J. Cheers.
Charlie's going to get his ass kicked.
Water.
Oh no, quite the contrary, my friend. Quite the contrary.
All right. We have Tom Black. Cheers. Husky Dog. Cheers. Keith Glendon. Cheers. Crappie Cat. Cheers.
I'm surprised these people even found us back. I got to be honest with you. These are 45 smart fart people. Smart people that if I was a viewer, I still couldn't find us.
You know what? Bourbon and Ballz people, they persevere.
They do, man.
That's what we
Much
do.
better than the host.
Yeah.
Host.
Make sure that's without
Well,
the S.
yeah, that's right.
Singular.
Jay Cornett. Cheers. Duran. Cheers.
Strong.
Tracy Siliorki. Yes, we did screw the pooch this time.
Yes, we did. This is probably the biggest pooch we've ever screwed.
That's all right.
Jeremy Dirks. Cheers. Gandy Road. Cheers.
It was not due to a lack of planning.
Whitney Spence. Cheers.
Hey, Whitney. Hey,
Hey.
we need to talk, by the way, because about the golf event. I need to get with you. Chad and I are going to join you. We need to make sure we sign up together and get going in May. But anyways, I'll get with you this week.
Lip Service Crew. Cheers. Sandy Jones. Cheers. Scott Gallagher. Cheers. Tamara Adams. Cheers.
And Scott Gallagher, by the way, thank you for joining Patreon. We got your notification today.
Oh, yes. Nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Yes. Yeah, let's go Andrew and Chadwick. I wonder if we're on Chadwick level. We're going to go Chad first and see how the interview goes and see if we were okay calling him Chadwick.
Right. We'll find out.
Let's see. Alan Adams, cheers.
You may close out right now.
Let's see. Stan Sabick, cheers. John Shank, cheers. East Coast Whiskey Sippers, cheers. And that is the entire chat.
Really?
Well, we lost
I think we lost some.
We lost
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, we lost a
a
few
whole
people
bunch in
there.
the beginning there. Yeah.
All right, very good. We got some news. We got a bunch of Patreon news, but we're gonna pause that and bring our guests up on the stage here in a second. Real quick, Tyler, can you run the hashtag game real quick? The hashtag pregame. so we
Hashtag
get that out of the way.
pregame.
Share the screen and let's get that one out of the way. Yep, go ahead and run it.
And your winner is Keith
Keith
Glandon.
Glandon. All right.
Keith.
All right, let's write down Keith's name and we'll get that sent out. Let's go ahead and get rid of that screen.
Rigged.
And then, as always, guys, when we bring on a guest, I know one particular viewer has a bunch of questions to ask Chad and Andrew, but please bring it with a Q. That way it's easier for Tyler to find it. But other than that, let's what?
Is Keith going to Spillway?
Can we talk about that later?
Okay. I was going to say, we'll just tell him. We'll
Yeah,
have
no.
Okay.
So, anyways, all right, very good. Let's go ahead and bring our guests onto the show. We'll go ahead and add them onto the stage. You're gonna have to do the 3-person one. There you go.
There
All right,
they
very
are.
good.
Andrew,
Hey,
look at that.
nice
man.
cigar.
All right,
That's a
nice
nice
cigar.
hit.
All right. Andrew, Chad, welcome to Bourbon and Ballz. Sorry about the mishap, guys. I would tell you that's the first time it's ever happened, but that'd be lying.
No problem on my end. I'm just sitting here having a little drink. Anyway, you hear me okay? Everything good?
Oh,
Yes,
perfect.
sir. You're good.
Yeah.
And Andrew, we're gonna do a live sound check with you. If you want to check in real quick, make sure we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
All right, very good. So this is the first time we've done this before. We've always had distillers on.
Members of the media. Yeah. Other podcasts, other shows. But yeah, this is first behind the scenes piece of the bourbon world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got some questions coming your guys' way as well here in a few moments. But so Independence Days, we all know who you guys are. We've heard you guys as far as once we do our own research with bourbon and whatnot. If you guys want to maybe for Andrew and Chad, give us your guys' background and how you even came to this category as far as you decided to make a career out of it. And then we can lead up to what Independence Day is all about and then, go forward from there.
All right, Andrew, you want me to go first?
Yes.
I have the most seniority in this crew, so I'll go first. So I'm almost 28 years into my career with Independent Stave Company, which means I started when I was 6. No,
There you go.
oh yeah, I've been there a long time. So 28 years ago, almost started with Independent Stave Company, working in the cooperage here in Lebanon, Kentucky. I'm based out of the Lebanon, Kentucky facility, Kentucky cooperage, and started that long ago. Started in the cooperage, worked in the cooperage for 3.5 years. Got an opportunity to take a job as a quality assurance and customer relations person for Independent Stave. So traveled around to all the big heritage customers here around Kentucky and surrounding areas, doing on-site quality assurance checks, dealing with customers, the good, bad, the ugly, reporting back to our cooperages. And then since 2016, been an account manager for Independent Stave, so managing basically anybody that buys 1 barrel a year up to somebody like Bardstown Bourbon Company, Green River, kind of my largest customers. And then my boss manages what we consider, I guess, the heritage customers here in Kentucky, all the big boys basically. So I don't have to deal with those guys, or don't get to, maybe, I don't know, however you want to say it. So the guys that I work with, the craft, a lot of the smaller craft guys are Really fun because most of the time you're working with the owner, the distiller, the bottling guy, he does, all of it. And they take their job and their craft and they want their barrels just, to be as good as somebody that we sell, hundreds of thousands of barrels to. So it's really fun to work with those craft guys and super blessed to be able to work for a company like ISC for this long and to be able to work with those types of folks. So that's kind of my background. And actually the way I got into it, I just kind of fell into this. I've got a degree in PE, so it's not like I have some wood science tech, background, or I didn't know shit about barrels before I got started. So I've had to learn and get in there and dig in and learn the hard way. The best way, is to get in there and hands on and to learn it. So that's kind of the background behind, how I got into this.
All right. What about you, Andrew?
I've been with the company for a little over 10 years. I have a degree in mechanical engineering, so not really anything too related with whiskey production or maturation, but I was always a bourbon fan. 12 or 13 years ago, I was doing a bourbon and cigar review website, called the Barrel and Leaf. And there's been some other. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. We know them.
Okay.
Heard of him.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, there were some other tie-ins to bourbon that I've had, but I'm not going to go that deep into it. But anyway, I got tired of engineering and I wanted to get into the bourbon business, and it was kind of as simple as just kind of going on the internet and seeing what was out there. And this job popped up. I had no idea it was with a cooperage. It didn't say with a cooperage. I thought it was with the distillery. And then when I found out that it was independent stave, I was really surprised. From I didn't know cooperages were doing these kind of things. And the job said Louisville, Kentucky, which is where I lived at the time, and still do live. And I didn't know ISC had a facility in Louisville, and they didn't at the time, but for whatever reason it said Louisville. So anyways, I applied. And after a few months of interviews, I got the job, and here we are 10 years later, still kicking.
So your guys' portfolio is probably one of the most impressive portfolios I've seen. Obviously, you guys, you guys can bring it as far as who you guys have as a client.
Well, and then
whatever you can share. Can you share who those people are that obviously we're going to know?
I was going to say, because you not only do whiskey or bourbon, you do wine, and
yeah,
I assume you do tequila and all other spirits too as well.
You have a long history.
We certainly do, and the long history is certainly where I was going to start with that. We're a family-owned cooperage business that's been in business since 1912, so we're 114 years old as a family-owned. We're in the fourth generation now. Brad Boswell, the fourth generation, is the family owner of the company, along with his brother and sister. So his father, I worked for his father before that. And then, it just goes down the line. Looking at the fifth generation here soon, probably taking over, I would assume Andrew and I will work for the fifth generation if they'll keep us around. And they're of age, getting close. I think Brad Boswell, who runs our company now, was about 31 years old when he took over, kind of started running the company from his father, John Boswell. So, a great family to work for. I can't say enough good things about the family and the company itself. So that's kind of where this starts. So this, we weren't making barrels all that 114 years. We started kind of in the stave milling business. So we went around and basically had, a mobile stave processing unit, I guess. And we didn't start making barrels until like the early 50s. So before that, the name itself, Independent Stave Company. So mostly back in those days, history goes that most distilleries own and built their own barrels at their own cooperage on site. We were independent of any of those specific distilleries, thus the name. So we provided, staves and or resources to most of those cooperages that were on site at distilleries until we finally started making barrels in the early 50s in Lebanon, Missouri is kind of where we were based out of, where the family was from, where a lot of white oak is. So we started there making barrels out there in the early 50s. We bought a facility in Kentucky in the early 80s. It was at the time, I think it was called Marion County Bourbon Cooperage. It has since changed names to Kentucky Cooperage. And at one point in time, certainly Kentucky Cooperage was making more barrels than any cooperage in the world. Now it's hard for us to say that because our other two cooperages, the one in Lebanon, Missouri, and the one in Moorhead, Kentucky, make about the same amount. So, yes, we are the largest cooperage in the world. We not only do whiskey and bourbon barrels, we do wine barrels. We do what we call our oak solutions group, which is kind of the oak adjuncts. So the tank staves, the chips, the cubes, the powders, the tannins, things like that. So and then we also have a used barrel subsidiary called Kentucky Bourbon Barrel that buys the used barrels back and process those and ship those overseas. So we basically cover from the front end to the back end and everything in between as a full service cooperage company.
Wow. So as far as where you get the material, I mean, you being the largest cooperage in the world, basically, I mean, you got to have a pretty good ready supply of American oak, I would assume. I see you do, European oaks or different brands, I guess, flavors of wood. But who does all that selection and where's it all come from?
Andrew, you chime in anytime because I'm
enjoying listening. You go ahead.
I'm just rambling over here. So we have about 20 log buyers that work for Independent Stave that are out finding white oak in about 20 different states in the United States. So we're as far west as Kansas, and then as far, and everything over this east of that, basically. So our log buyers, the way the process works is our log buyers are out in the field and working with the loggers in their area. So the logger gets hired by the landowner, and the logger says, "Oh, wow, there's a lot of white oak on this property that I'm getting ready to cut for this landowner." And he calls our log buyer and says, "Hey, man, I'll just run up on a nice piece of property with a lot of white oak. You might want to come over and have a look." Our guy goes over. He works with the landowner and the logger, and we try and educate, the party involved and say, "Here's what, we should cut now. Here's what, we kind of try and educate the landowner first so they can better understand what we need this for, what they should leave to build a healthier, sustainable, piece of property or forest." And then we buy the logs off directly typically from the logger. And then we get those sent to one of our stave mills. We currently own and operate 9 stave mills that are spread out here on the eastern part of the United States. I think there's 2 in Kentucky, 2 in Missouri, 2 in Tennessee, 1 in Indiana, 1 in Ohio, and 1 in Arkansas. So
Wow.
those are all independent stave-owned stave mills that process the logs that we purchase from the landowner and the logger, and then process those into the pieces that we're going to use to make barrels at our 4 domestic cooperages.
So you don't have a specific farm that you raise at White Oak. You just you're waiting on somebody to develop their property, basically is what you're waiting on.
Well, sort of. I mean, we do own a little bit of property ourselves, just to so we can directly manage that piece of property, to be it's mostly for the future, because when we buy a piece of property, we're looking 100 years out to try and manage that property to be the best white oak growing piece of property that we can make it. So that means going in, sending our forester in to manage that property, to take out any invasive species that are going to deter white oak from growing at a nice steady pace, and so we can use it later down the road.
Yeah.
But still 90% of the logs that we purchase are from private landowners,
Okay.
So yeah, we maybe even more than 90%. It's a big portion of what we purchase.
That's amazing to be able to be one of the largest cooperages in the world and be able to source. Yeah. That's
we probably have over 3,000 suppliers of logs. So not one supplier that we buy from is over probably 3 or 4, 2%. Yeah, Andrew said 2%. So
that's nice.
we need every one of those folks to build our inventories up, and so when you go to one of our non-stave mills, you will just see yards full of logs, white oak logs, and they're on our yard, and we're processing those daily, and our mills are running, quick and fast to process those into stave and head pieces that we're using at our 4 domestic cooperages.
All right, let's hit some viewer questions here. East Coast Whiskey Sipper asks, what makes your barrels different from competitors in terms of flavor impact?
That sounds like an Andrew question.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, if you're talking about, a standard char 4 barrel, all things considered, equal seasoning, equal toasting or no toasting, American white oak. I mean, they're going to taste extremely similar.
It's all going to be about the environment that they're resting in.
Yeah, that's a good majority of it. And I think where we differentiate ourselves is, there are some different, we'll call it like when you go in to buy a car, you can add options. You can do the same thing to a barrel. We call them flavor levers. You can turn this lever or pull this lever, and you can change the flavor. Now, I like to think that out of all the cooperages in the entire world, that our list of flavor levers is longer. So, if you really want to get geeky with a barrel, we can get really complex in the design. But, I mean, you put a standard char 4, no toast, 6 months of seasoning, it's a very, very basic barrel.
So you talk about levers. I mean, what kind of lever? You talking about how long it's toasted, or how long you're?
Well, that could be one of them. I mean, you've got, we've got 14 or 15 different ones, and it's my job to add new ones as we go. But there's char level, there's how long the wood was seasoned, there's what kind of wood species, there's different toast levels. You can change the temperature, the time of the toast. You can toast with different materials. You can smoke the barrel. You can do a coarse, medium, or fine grain, maybe even an extra fine grain. You can change the piece count. You can do a 45 piece count stave or barrel, or a 25 piece count stave. You can do different types of heads. You can do thicker heads. You can do thin barrels.
Just opened a can of worms.
Yeah, how nerdy you want to get, guys?
Yeah, nerd out. Come on.
As the director of research for the company, it's my job to, fully understand all those flavor levers, and then, try my best to add new ones if we can.
That reminds me of when on Forrest Gump they asked about the shrimp.
You can add
He tells them all the different
Fried,
flavors. Yeah, fried shrimp.
Shrimp stew, shrimp,
shrimp.
I mean,
potato.
literally.
Well,
I mean, we all know. I mean, we've talked with Jason Bronner many times. I mean, the guys. I mean, it's a science. I mean, it really is. It's you got to geek out.
Yeah.
Jason is my best friend.
Really.
Oh, nice. We love him. He's like a mad scientist with those proprietary staves that combination that he uses, and obviously with the SKUs that he has, he does he does quite the number on those things, right?
Yeah, he does.
What can you speak about maybe that
There you go.
Buzzard Roost and his ways of doing it?
I like to think that I helped convince Jason to start that brand. And now he's probably cussing me up a storm right now. Or probably does just about every day.
Well, here, let me text him. I'll find out.
Yeah, but we've they only use ISC barrels, and as of today, I think we have custom designed 14 or 15 different barrels that are proprietary to them. And so, Jason has been to the research center several times. He has tasted a lot of different stuff. He is very knowledgeable on our, kind of line of products and flavor levers. And, he pretty much does it all himself now. I mean, at the beginning, there's very little you can teach Jason Bronner about bourbon.
Yeah.
But you can teach him about barrels. And there was a little bit of that up front. And he was very quick to take to it. And, now he doesn't even, he'll call us to place an order, but, he doesn't call saying, what should I do here? What should I do there? I mean, as far as barrels and bourbon for that matter, I mean, I don't know if anybody knows bourbon or, better than Jason. And now that he's got a really good barrel knowledge, he's been doing it for 5 years. I think that brand has been around. He's really good, and he's innovative. He thinks of new stuff. So,
yeah, I was fortunate to be able to go down with Jason to Buzzard's Roost, and they did a deep dive in terms of the staves and the profiles and the notes that come out, and it was one of the coolest things that I've been to. I mean, you take a lot of bourbon tours, but that was really like next level. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we had Jason on. I guess it's been about a year ago now, and we got a chemistry lesson. We did.
No, it was he nerded out, and we enjoyed that. That was he's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
he's one of the good ones.
Yeah, he is.
All right. So the next question is from Gandy Road. What is the most unusual barrel you currently produce?
Well, me and Chad are probably going to both have different answers for that one because Chad works with so many different customers that don't necessarily, reel me into the conversation. But I can tell you the rarest barrel that I know of that is also the most boring barrel is a Char 2 barrel. We probably that is probably the barrel we sell the least of, just a plain standard Char 2 barrel.
Wow.
At least Chad might have a little bit of a different insight, but that
what would be the reason for that?
I mean, so you've got at the very beginning you had Char 4, and that was really popular because at that time people thought the deeper the char, the more flavor you get.
Right.
Which is wrong. And then kind of when the craft thing came out, people said, well, we're going to be really different and go to a Char 3. And so it was just Char 4 and Char 3 for a while. And then, we started doing some experiments and started learning about Char 1. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of just, Char 2 just kind of took a back seat. It was 3 and 4 just kind of, being the best sellers. Char 1, if you want to do something unique, and then, Char 2 just kind of, fluttered off into the distance. So, I mean, Chad might have a little bit of a different insight. That's probably the rarest and most unusual. Of course, unusual, that's ambiguous. I mean, unusual could be rare or unusual could just mean weird. A char 2 barrel is not weird, but it's rare. As far as a weird barrel goes, I don't know, Chad. We've done some.
Yeah. So I guess probably touching a little bit back on the Buzzard Druce thing.
The cigar.
Well, either that
Sure
one or the one that Ethan and I did. As far as I know, that particular barrel. So a little background on that, guys. So the Buzzard Druce thing, Jason, the owner, my son Ethan Spalding was their distiller at their location in downtown Louisville. He was the head distiller there. He's now at Potter Jane, but he was the distiller at Buzzard Druce for a couple of years. So at one point in time, Buzzard Druce handed over about 9 barrels of MGP. I can't remember the exact mash bill to Ethan, the distiller, and said, "Okay, you can do whatever you want to with these barrels." And so he came to the research center where Andrew and I work. We tasted through a bunch of different types of barrels that we have in our whiskey library. And so we dreamed up, my son and I together dreamed up this particular barrel that we finished that MGP juice in. And they came out with that Kindred collaboration. Buzzard Druce did. That was myself and my son. That was the finish that we did. And that barrel in particular, as far as I know, that barrel has only been done at that time, and there was only 9 of those barrels produced. So it was a wave stave barrel. So we grooved the inside of the staves. It was a P47 toast, which is one of our profile toasts. It's kind of on the sweeter side of things, with a char 1, and it was put on some 18-month seasoned material, some 18-month wood that the barrels are made out of. So that's not a standard barrel that we make. We have all those options, but to put all of them together was probably one of the most unique barrels that we've made, as the kind of a one-off, because Buzzards hasn't done that again, and we're probably not going to let anybody else but Buzzards do that particular barrel. That's kind of their proprietary barrel now. And I didn't tell you any secrets. All that's on the bottle of Kindred and talks about that. So it's not something that I just shared and broke the internet on.
Well, you're more than welcome to do anything like that. No matter.
Well, and I know when we had Jason on, this is when he first came out of this cigar batch, and he told us the whole story about how he smoked the tobacco leaves inside the barrel, and then the FDA couldn't tell whether or not it was a legal batch or not. So he's got another method for doing that. But like I said, that's Jason. He knows everything about it.
And he will push the boundaries.
Yeah.
Me and Chad, we did those first barrels of cigar in our shop. We now offer a line of smoked barrels, and me and Chad have gone back in the shop. I mean, for the first trying to launch this product, me and Chad probably smoked 100 or 200 barrels by ourselves in the shop. And set
the fire alarm, and the fire department showed up on multiple occasions, and that's a true story.
It is, and
I'd love to see that video.
And
no,
we've smoked barrels with everything from cigar to maple wood. We smoked it with leather belts, ginger, peat.
Kentucky peat and Scottish peat, right?
I was going to say, I can see the peat, yeah.
Kentucky peat, Scottish peat, Irish peat. I mean, there's no telling how many things that we've tried back there in that damn shop. But
tree bark,
as Chad said, it became such a frequent occurrence that the fire marshal had to install his own private key on the front of the building.
They were about 2
You
seconds
made
away
it.
from tearing the door and the glass out, trying to get in at one point in time. Certainly,
We had an oven in there. We had an oven that was custom built, and it was repurposed, and it went haywire a few times as far as the temperature limit switch, and anyway, we've since improved our processes and upgraded the oven to a very nice one, and we don't really have trouble too much anymore. But yeah, when we were doing that kind of stuff, we had that old oven in there. It would give us some issues every now and then, but luckily we were, nothing ever caught on. Well, we didn't make a big fire.
It was decent size. That was a gangster ass piece of shit oven we had first.
Yeah.
All right, we have some more viewer questions from Pars Pours. What is the best small barrels ISC makes?
53 gallons.
That's all you make?
Well, we
all
go
you make?
bigger, but that's the best small one we make.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Very good.
So if somebody wanted to buy a personal barrel, like maybe a 5-gallon or a 10-gallon barrel, that's not something that we would come to you for. There would be like a boutique type of a store then. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. Yeah, we had when I first started, there were still plenty of our customers that were using anywhere between 5 to 30 gallons. Chad would know better than I if anybody else is still doing that, but
The small barrels.
yeah,
There's a handful, and I'm not afraid to say it. When I get requests for small barrels, I send them to the barrel mill. Those guys up in Minnesota do a good job on the small barrel format. So we've never made anything smaller than 53 gallon, and as far as I know, we won't. But like Andrew said, we do go bigger. So we have 59 gallon, 62 gallon. They're wine barrels, but we have adjusted, and we know how to make them into spirits barrels. We can toast them and char them. And then we have a cooperage in France where we make
300 gallon.
400 liter, 500 liter, 600 liter barrels over there. That's becoming. It's not. We have a couple customers that will. One most recently, I probably shouldn't say. It might be a top secret. I don't really know. But they're doing some innovative stuff with these larger format barrels, vatting whiskey in, things like that. So, wow. And then there's, we have some customers that, so Texas is hot. Yeah. Texas, when you put barrels down in Texas and you start aging them, they extract very quickly. 53 gallon does. So to fight that or try and slow, the extraction rate down, you put in a larger barrel, and that seems to work, fairly well. So
yeah,
okay, makes
we
sense.
have a couple of Texas customers.
Whitney Spence is sending me naughty text messages.
Yeah. By the way, I texted him before he came on, by the way, and said, "Hey, Whitney, I'm getting ready to go on the Bourbon and Ballz podcast. I saw where he was on in the episode." So we're good buddies. Andrew and I are with Whitney, and love what Cole Pick and Whitney and those folks are doing down there. They're one of our fantastic customers, and they're just awesome to work with, and Whitney's cool. Actually, we're Whitney and I are doing another podcast together here in like a month and a half or something. So
cool.
Nice.
He hopefully we're gonna do something in June, but we'll leave that for the viewers to know later, and we can go down to his property. We haven't seen it, but man, we've heard all kinds of things about it.
It's pretty
so if you go, so Andrew and I went down there to Copic in Paradise, Kentucky is where it's at. So Andrew, before we even got there, we had gotten a pretty good ways out. And Andrew was like, you're lying to me. There is no distillery out here because it's out in the middle of nowhere. And I said, dude, this is directions, that they, Whitney gave me or whatever. He's like, there's no way. There can't be a distillery out here. Like, we're going down this dirt road. There's this metal gate or whatever, and there's a code or some lock we have to get through, and then there's these 14-foot high fences going down through there, and he's like, where are we going? Like, they have barbed wire on the top. He's like, where are you taking me? And so we finally get there, and it kind of like opens up, and there's this big lake, and there's a distillery and a nice cabin and house. And so anyway, we get there, check out the distillery, and then the owner, Kevin, says, "Hey, you guys, there's a what are those boats called, Andrew?
little fan boats or whatever they call.
What are they called? The ones you drive through the swamp or whatever.
Oh,
Jesus. Whatever those things are.
Yeah. So anyway, they have one of these with this like 500, this big ass Corvette motor on the back of it or something. You guys want to go ride on this airboat? That's what they're called.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay.
So we're like, yeah. So we strap on some headsets and we go riding on this airboat down there in Western Kentucky at Copic, and it's like kind of Disneyland if you're a whiskey lover and animal lover, because they have like bison, they have cattle, they have elk, they have all this stuff out there, and then they have all this property and this marshland and lakeland and bass fishing, and it's kind of crazy. But yeah, so if you guys get the opportunity to go down there, you should take Whitney up on that.
No, we've been talking, and Whitney's a great guy. Actually, he's going to be in our golf foursome hopefully in the next month. But definitely, we're going to go down to his property in June and do a barrel pick. And I think it's more. I tell people too. It's like when we go down there and we'll get the people that we invite and all that kind of stuff. It's not even a barrel pick. It's going to be like a bourbon experience, or not just an experience itself.
Well, if there's one thing I know Whitney likes, it's a foursome.
Oh wow!
We'll clip that. So.
He said to give him a shout out, and that'll teach him. Don't ask me that.
I mean, he does have one of the best looking beards in bourbon. So
it is pretty.
Well, Barry Brenniger now. We got it. Barry's got the nice one too. So
I see our partner from Kentucky Bourbon Barrel, Noah Steingraber. He's listening in tonight. He's chatting in over here on the left. So I don't know if you guys know Noah. Noah's with our used barrel subsidiary, Kentucky Bourbon Barrel. He sells all the used barrels for ISC. So he's chatting in over there. There he is. SS IK7JS, whatever that means. But that's Noah, aka Benzo.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good.
All right.
Where are you
guys
seeing in this chat?
So if you look on the right, there's private chat and then there's comments, and then you click on the comments and you can see how everybody's like not interested in what we're having to say yet. Probably, I don't know. I don't know if we're boring anybody yet or not.
Oh, this is great.
So you guys produce virgin American oak barrels, and you also produce, or actually you have through we said Kentucky Barrel. They do the used barrels that ships overseas to Scotch and Irish whiskey and whatnot from there.
Yeah, I mean Noah Kentucky Bourbon Barrels based out of Louisville, Kentucky. They buy and resell. So they buy the once used barrels most of the time from the distilleries, and then they bring them in, process them, and resell them overseas to Scotland, Ireland, Canada. Joe Blow down the street, breweries, whoever wants them, they'll sell them.
Right.
And then we have a Kentucky Bourbon Barrel South that is basically on the campus of Kentucky Cooperage in Lebanon, Kentucky, that processes used barrels. So they take the used barrels and then we bring them in, inspect them, repair any defects, and then ship them out for distillery folks. So it's kind of just like a processing facility that for distilleries to have an outlet for their used barrels.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right, Tyler, what we got?
All right.
Which, by the way, there's a voice in the background in all your head and your headspace. He's our little producer guy. He's going through all that stuff. You don't see him on camera, but he says,
"Oh, cool."
How's it going?
All right, Tyler, go ahead.
Gaty Road asks, what is the average age of trees you use for your barrels?
Anywhere between 80 to 130 years.
Wow.
Jeez.
Is
there a sweet spot?
No, it just depends on all it depends on is diameter. Generally, anything younger than 80 is not big enough to run through the cooperage. And
it's not worth it.
Once you get to 130 years old, stuff starts to rot. Gets a lot of defects in it.
I was going to say, as far as the defects, they got to be perfect, right?
Damn near perfect. You know,
Yeah.
we can have some defects, but we got to cut them out. We can't leave them. We can't leave them in there. So I guess in that sense, yes, the staves do have to be damn near perfect. We can bring in imperfect logs and cut the imperfectness out of them to a certain extent. But when somebody brings us a log and it has defects, we'll still buy it as long as the defects aren't too severe. But we'll dock the pay on it because it's just wood that we can't use.
Sure.
You could use it for individual staves though, right? Or is that still
Depends.
have to be
So if we find the tree has been struck by lightning, we'll kick that log out. If the tree has rot on both ends, Chad must correct me if I'm wrong, but we kick that out, don't we?
Yeah, right off the bat.
Metal.
Most of our suppliers understand what our standards are and how quality of a white oak log that we need and we'll buy and pay good money for. So, once we partner with some of those folks, they understand. Don't try and bring us some junk. Don't try and hide some junk in there within your, truckload. We look at and scale out every single log brought in. The advantage to that is that when they bring those logs to us at one of our stave mills or we're buying them out in the yard, they will get paid on site. We will write them a check and they will get paid. They don't have to wait till Friday or the end of the month, to get paid for those logs. So if you're out there and you have some good white oak, we're always, looking for good solid white oak. Get a hold of us and we'll get you hooked up with one of our log buyers and you will get money fast. So
Gotcha.
That's the best way to build relationship with those folks, to pay a good, consistent, high-level price. We don't really follow the hardwood market on oak because that fluctuates up and down quite a bit. We try and stay at a standard, steady, as best we can, to keep all those guys into where we don't run into a situation where, like back in 2008 or 9, when kind of the housing market kind of crashed down and the hardwood market and wood market in general kind of took a big dip, loggers just got out of, just quit logging. Like they didn't have an outlet. And so then we ran into a situation where, we had a hard time getting white oak because there weren't any loggers in the force.
Okay. Yeah.
So, that we don't want that to happen. So we try and keep loggers out there, keep them bringing us white oak and pay them a fair price for it.
Well, that was kind of going to be my next question. I mean, you're seeing all the downturn right now. You saw Brown Foreman, they sold off their cooperage. Basically, I think you guys absorbed it, if I'm not mistaken. We now have MGP kind of, shutting down Luxico and Limestone Branch. And we've got Green River kind of going on. I mean, are you guys seeing any kind of impact like that? I'm sure. I mean, go ahead.
I don't call it a downturn. I don't think that's the right word for it. Production and supply, all else being equal, it should be just kind of a straight line, constant growth like this. But, for the past 8 years, that production of bourbon was far out. I mean, it was separating pretty far, and, and that's the reason why you're seeing, distilleries pause, because inventory levels are just out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because, consumption is tanking or tariffs. It's not any one thing. I would say that if it was any one thing, the main thing is that there was just overproduction. And it was easy for us to do the math. We're seeing how many barrels we're putting out, and then, 22 cases per barrel. And then you look how many cases the bourbon market is. It's like, this don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I started back in 2000, at the end of 2015, it was kind of the height of bourbon. the bourbon enthusiasm. There were documentaries going around everywhere. There were this and that. I mean, it was crazy. Everybody was doing bourbon this, bourbon that. Well, you know, Jim Beam's selling twice as many cases as they are now as they were then.
Mm-hmm.
So I get kind of irritated when you see in the news that, you know, bourbon has tanked or nobody's drinking bourbon anymore. There, you know, anytime one brand is selling tens of millions of cases, it's a pretty good business to be in.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it as a correction. I mean, you
Right.
have the
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
That's a
So-
great. That's a great word. Yes.
yeah. You know, so, but you know, you still have it's still out there. It's still, you know, on the back of your mind. Okay, Luxco, Green River, you know, MGP. You know, it just makes you kind of stop and think a little bit. You know?
It does. And, you know, we don't get the whole story. And so I think people in this day and age kind of, you know, gravitate towards the worst. And, but, you know, in my opinion, still a great business to be in. There's still a lot of bourbon being made, still a lot of bourbon being sold. But, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, inventory levels got to get a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
And in doing so, there's going to be, you know, as you said, just a little bit of a slowdown.
Adjustment period. Yeah.
Adjustment.
Yeah. Right.
All right, well, we got a bunch of questions to get through still, so let's go and get those, Tyler.
All right. Next one's from Pars Pours. Do you make the metal rings for your barrels or do you purchase them?
So we purchase steel domestically in large coils of steel, and then we cut them, flare them, rivet them together, and then put them on the barrel. So yeah, we purchase steel and then we make the hoops ourselves.
Gotcha.
All right.
And
Tyler,
so
go ahead.
when you see on a barrel on the rivets a KY or an MO, you can almost always tell where a barrel came from, which cooperage, by what it has on the rivets. So if it's got a KY on it, it came from one of our Kentucky. It came from
Rivets.
Kentucky cooperage. If it has an MO, it came from our Missouri cooperage. If it has a CC, it came from our Commonwealth cooperage. And then, you know, there are some cooperages who don't put anything on the rivets, but typically that's how a cooperage will, determine and let you know where it came from.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
From East Coast Whiskey Sipper, who are your primary customers today? Large distilleries or craft producers?
Yeah, we cover the full gamut. So we make all Brown Foreman barrels these days. You know, Jim Beam barrels. We make all those. So we have the big guys, and then you know, I manage and sell barrels to the guy who wants a barrel for his bar. This literally just happened this week. That's why I can tell you, we sell one barrel to this guy locally out of Missouri who wants one barrel to put in his bar and put a wooden spigot in it. And we're going to do that for him. And then he's going to make himself a 53-gallon Infinity barrel.
Nice.
So we will sell,
Awesome.
we will sell a guy one barrel, and we'll sell Jack Daniels all they want, you know, or
Wow, so
whoever.
you will do a one-off then. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we're in it to win it, folks. Like, you know, we're not the biggest, you know, cooperage in the world for, you know, because we turn people down. Like we don't do that.
Right.
So
That's interesting.
Get another one.
All right. The next one, I believe, is from someone you guys know. What is the most exotic wood you've ever made a barrel out of?
I'll let you answer Benzo's question there, Andrew.
Well, I mean, hell, I don't know. You know, I don't really know what those guys do over there in France. We have a cooperage in France. We have them in Australia. We have them South America. You know, I don't know what they get into over there. I mean, I can tell you from, you know, my experience, we experiment with I think up to this point, you know, we've experimented domestically with over 55 different species of wood. That doesn't, we don't sell 55 different species, but we've experimented with. But I mean, you know, nothing terribly exotic. from a commercial standpoint that we'll if you call us up, we'll offer it. But I would say the weirdest one that we did was this wood called mulga. We tried that one time, not even thinking really. And then we looked on the wood toxicity report after the fact, after we had tasted the whiskey, and it was poisonous.
Oh my God.
Andrew and I have only drank gallons of that out of that, by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
So that's what I was going to ask.
Woo.
You say you experiment with the wood. I mean, you're not going to know what that wood's going to do to the juice, right? I mean, so how are you experimenting?
You just you just take the wood and you throw some heat on it, and you introduce a little bit of whiskey to it and wait, and you taste, and
if Andrew doesn't die within 5 minutes of tasting, then I'm like, okay, we're good.
See what pops up. Now again, of those 55 different things that we've tasted, every single one of those have been simply for experimental purposes only. We don't release any data on it. We don't release any graphs. We don't release any, flavor wheels, nothing like that. We just do it just to do it. But that mulga wood was weird. There have been some other very, very fun. We've done eucalyptus, which didn't taste as bad as you would think. We've done a bunch of weird stuff, but again, none of that has been commercialized. It's only been for just to, for the most part, say that we did it.
And some of that is not in barrel form, by the way, because barrels, like certain types of wood, you can't make a barrel out of because it's not going to be liquid tight. It doesn't have the same makeup and as a white oak does, the Tyloses and things like that to make white oak, why we used white oak. So we've used Spanish oak, French oak, European oak, American oak, and we know what all four of those do and what their differences are and why they're different. And what we have one experiment that has all four of those. I think the Spanish oak, the French oak, the European oak, and American oak. So we have a library that Andrew and I work out of the office of. Our library's probably got I don't know how many bottles in there now, Andrew.
So
Thousands.
at any given time, we generally have anywhere. Now it's a little bit on the lower side now because when I first started, we loaded up pretty good. I think at the highest, kind of our highest experimental rate, we had almost 4,000 experimental barrels in place across the world. Now we only have, somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 in place, and we get samples back. Last time I calculated, we get samples back from 33% of those barrels. It ends up being a lot of bottles.
So I was going to say, so you have barrels out there that you have data on. Say you're doing an Amberana barrel, or you're doing a white oak, or you're doing a European oak. You have data out there that tells you how it affects each. Now, is that based on mash bill, or is that based on?
We've done mash bill experiments, which, by the way, have no effect on extraction whatsoever.
Okay.
We've done entry-proof experiments. We've done yeast experiments. We've done warehouse experiments, climate experiments. But every single barrel that we put into experiment, as long as it is a flavor experiment. Now, we do experiments on recovery and outage, that kind of thing, hoop steel. But as long as it is a flavor experiment, char level, toast level, wood species, what have you, we get samples back. And we have data, chemical data and sensory data. We have chemical data on every single barrel out there. And we have sensory data. I mean, me and Chad taste every one of them, but our sensory panel does not. But
we are the panel.
Yeah, me and Chad pretty much are. Yeah. You would think it'd be easy to get people to come to work and taste whiskey, but it's really not.
Oh my God.
All right,
Yeah.
sign me up.
Sign me up, yeah.
All right, Tyler, let's get through the questions.
All right. So speaking of experiments, Sandy Jones asks, for a barrel used to secondarily age a whiskey, would it work to make the barrel out of different woods? Example, Amberana, Mizunara, Spanish oak, and so on, all in the same barrel.
Work to do what is be the question. No, I mean it could. I guess if you only have, one barrel to work with, 1 barrel's worth of whiskey to work with. But if you're a major producer, the best thing to do would be to finish it in 1 Amburana, 1 Mizunara, 1 Spanish oak, 1 white oak, and then blend them. Because you're going to pay out the ass to have those barrels mixed. Mixing different oak species. We do have a barrel called the Fusion barrel where we do that. This is going to end up being. I'll stop there because once I get into oak species, it's a long, drawn out. But I got a lot to say about that. So
yeah. we do have hybrid barrels to simplify a little bit. We have hybrid barrels that we make that are standard American oak staves, French oak, or European oak heads, or vice versa. So we can blend, versions of white oak. The other stuff, we get a lot of requests for the Amburanas and the, this and that. And normally those, we don't mess with those in barrel form. We will play around with those in our oak solutions group side of things. So our staves and cubes and chips and things like that. But, and those are becoming a little, less taboo in the industry, I think, is people finishing with those type of products. And, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I think that those products that we sell will start becoming more and more prevalent because there's so much of this excess whiskey that has to go somewhere. And then it also has to be different. So what's the easiest way to make that different? If you're out there and you're an NDP and you're purchasing, this contract whiskey, that they've got thousands and thousands of the same mash bill, how are you going to make yourself different? Well, you can come to us and we can work with you on a secondary barrel finish or an oak solutions finish with staves or chips or cubes or flavor stick systems. And they're the options on that side of our business and how flavor specific we can get to drive that product. So you buy a mash bill, or some a barrel lot from, a contract distiller, and you think, wow, this is nice and it's all kind of spicy or whatever. We can shoot that in a sweet direction, or we can shoot that in a smoky direction, or we can work with you and develop a totally different product to send it into to make yourself different from the other people who bought that same lot of bourbon out of that contract distiller. So we worked with tons and tons of contract distillers on specific mash bills and barrels and types, but we work with their off brands, the people they work with to finish these barrels that they purchase from those contract distillers and to make themselves different.
Yes, that's what I was wondering. How do you make yourself stand out from everybody else, basically? So that answered the question right there.
If you're a NDP or somebody who's got your own bourbon brand and label, and you work with a contract distiller that works with ISC, guess what? You get me, you get Andrew, you get our 114 years worth of tribal knowledge on the barrel side and the wood and the oak side. It's free of charge, basically. So if you work with one of our customers, you're working with us.
Okay.
All right, Tyler, go ahead.
All right. CJP Bourbon says, have you ever found yourself with staves that have aged faster due to weather over 2 to 3 years that you were unexpectedly rushed to make them into barrels sooner than first planned?
No, we have not. We tend to age our wood on a very specific kind of latitude. There are differences. If you age in a very dry climate, you're not going to get a lot of that effects that come from seasoning. So you have to be conscious of that. But everything we do is pretty much standardized from, our normal 3 to 6 to 18 to 24. Now, that's not to say that, maybe this stack, I don't know, got a little more sun or got a little bit more rain or had a little bit more microflora growth. That, that could be the case. But we're not out there testing for that. We've done a lot of research into what happens during seasoning, and there's a reason we've chosen those 18 months, 24 months, because specific things grow and specific things happen. But it's not something that we're consistently monitoring. We're monitoring moisture content.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
But and we've done experiments where we've monitored the microbial growth on certain stacks at different periods, different months, and seen what type of species is flourishing at that point.
Gotcha. And that's
and
all
it's good
natural, not introduced.
Yeah, it's and well, actually, I don't know how long you guys been doing the bourbon thing, but if you remember a long time ago, Buffalo Trace came out with something called E.H. Taylor seasoned wood.
Yeah,
Mhm.
season
Yep.
one. Yep.
And that was way back in I don't know when we did that, but we actually inoculated stacks of wood with different microbes. And
Okay.
they
Early 2000s, wasn't it?
that may have been when it came out. I'm not really sure. I know E.H. Taylor, I think it's normally about 8 years old. So I think that came out somewhere around 2016, 2017. So it may have been somewhere in the 2000s when we made them barrels.
It was probably early 2000s, I would think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting.
All right, Andrew, this question looks like it's just for you. David Tankin wants to know what cigar that is.
Oh, I wish I could tell you. I grabbed out of a humidor, didn't have a band on it, so it's probably pretty cheap if I had to guess. It certainly tastes cheap, and it certainly smokes cheap. And
Yeah, I like
there was
I like my $1.25, everyday single, smokers.
All right.
I love it. Yeah.
All right.
I did.
Sounds like my dad. He's on the cheap cigar. He's a
Chad,
sweet guy.
Chad, when you were talking earlier, I started laughing, and I wasn't laughing at you, but I have since closed the comment section. But somebody asked what your favorite vegetable was, a cucumber.
No, I just happened to look up and saw that, and that's my dumbass friend Billy Newton.
I don't think we made it that far down.
I don't think we made
yet.
that yet.
We're still before the 9 o'clock hour on these questions, so we gotta get through this thing. So, Tyler, let's go.
All right. Park Force wants to know, what do you do with the sawdust from the cutting and shaping?
Good,
That's a great
good
question.
by the way, there, buddy. That's a good one. So we're a very sustainably forward company, and so every bit of sawdust or shavings or bark, whatever it might be, is usable in our process. So most of the sawdust is pulled off of all the blades, and we burn that in our wood burning boiler system that produces the steam heat that we use in our dry kilns, the steam heat that we use in the barrel making process of bending the barrels. So literally, when we purchase a log, we also own a mulching company. So when we purchase that log and we skin that log of the bark, the bark is used in our mulching, process, and then everything else is used as fuel. So our byproduct is fuel for our cooperages, basically.
Interesting.
But what we don't use, we will sell to people like Kingsford Charcoal.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
But we can take some of those small clippings and toast them and use them for tequila and rum. With tequila, you can introduce wood up to 59 days and not have to say a single thing on the label.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
Yep.
Mhm. So, yeah. So, at the research center, it's called the Spirits Research Center. So, I mean, a lot of what me and Chad do, most of it's American whiskey, but we also have experiments in Mexico, Ireland, Scotland, Japan, Australia. We've got them kind of all over the place.
Wow.
And there's a lot of other places to get to have a whole lot of fun with whiskey and barrels, but U.S. is not one of them.
Yeah, a little restricted, a little bit.
Yeah. All right, Tyler, what we got?
All right, the next one. How specific are distillers getting with their barrel requests? Tightness of grain, age of seasoning, etc.
Well, If you talk to somebody like Jason Bronner, he takes it to almost an annoying level. You know,
Jason, you hearing us? No.
yeah, he wants to know if we can do this and that and all kinds of stuff. But I would say that, you know, and Chad's going to be, you know, having been with the company for 30 years, Chad will, you know, he can tell you exactly when that shift started happening. But I would say within the past 6 or 7 years, it's gotten very specific. So, you know, contrary to, you know, Char 4 is still our best selling barrel, but of the new products for these companies that we get to work on, a little over 90% of the barrels are Char 1 for new products, not current ones, but new ones. And so usually they come with a toast and a seat. So I would say there's about 6 different flavor levers of the, you know, 13 or 14 that we have that people are constantly tweaking. Whereas Chad, you can correct me, but it seemed like when I first got here, you know, maybe just char level and seasoning. I don't know.
Barely seasoning and very little char level. So, yeah, everybody was to these, especially these big distilleries. They built their, you know, profile on char 4 barrels. That's everybody just knew that's what you put it in. You didn't put in anything else because you were going to change the, you know, the profile. You're going to send it in another direction. So nobody wanted to mess that up at the larger distilleries, and the craft guys started coming along, you know, 2016, 17, 18, 2020, and, you know, not wanting to be, you know, the next Char 4 guy. They knew they weren't going to beat Jim Beam at their game, you know, so they had to make themselves different, and that's when they started pulling those levers that, you know, we were able to offer. That Andrew, you know, we experimented with and learned more about. So they use them, you know, they use them to their advantage, and we were able to, you know, do those for those customers. And it's almost like Burger King around here now. It's like, have it your way. Like whatever you want, we will try it and we will make it happen.
Man.
So never ending carousel, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Tyler, what we got?
All right, from Chris Blankenship, do you have any insight from the barrel side of things of what makes a short barrel that's lost a lot to Angel's share so amazing?
So yeah, if you figure that out, you let us know, because the maturation in general is something that is so hard to figure out. As much as you test, as much as you study, you know, there's so many things that can make a short barrel. So it could be the density of the wood, it could be the tightness of the grain, it could be the amount of staves in the barrel, because a lot of the evaporation occurs through the joints of the staves and not through the staves themselves. So if you have a barrel that has, you know, 34 staves in it versus one that has 26, you have more opportunity, you know, for evaporative loss, you know, through the stave joints. So there's a lot of factors that can make a short barrel. And then we know, you know, at the end of the day, we're not perfect. So there could be a defect or two, you know, in that barrel. And then I always thought and said that if you go into a warehouse and you do not see a leak on a barrel, it's probably not doing what it was supposed to do anyway.
Yeah.
Because that means it's not building pressure in that barrel. There's something going wrong where, you know, maybe it's evaporating out of the bung. You know, there's different things. If there's not a spot, you know, on that barrel, I don't know if I trust it, you know. So
Interesting.
It probably just means that it's not tight enough and hasn't been able to build pressure to squeeze out, you know, something somewhere, because almost every barrel is going to squeeze out something somewhere.
Wow.
If you've got a 10-year-old barrel and there's 20 bottles in it, it was a defect.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And now if you've got a 10-year-old barrel and there's, I don't know, you know, 100 bottles, then it's probably something like Chad was talking about where, you know, maybe it was in a special place in the warehouse, you know, maybe there was an extra fine grain, maybe it was a, you know, high piece count, something like that. I mean, you know, barrels are weird. They're really, really weird.
As you say, there is no way for you to tell based on what barrel you're making that day.
So
How, you know,
when we do our experiments studying like recovery and outage, things like that, we put in at the very minimum 288 barrels per variant. Per variant.
And we still don't know exactly what's going on in the barrel. You know,
Right.
we do a lot
288
of
bottles
research.
or barrels?
Barrels. 200.
Barrels.
So if we've got an experiment and we're studying recovery and there's four different variants that we're putting into the warehouse, 4 different designs, there's going to be, over 1,000 barrels in that experiment because you have to do so many barrels to study that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay, I get that. Sampling size, yeah.
All right, Tyler.
Damn.
All right. From West Virginia Bourbon Guy, for someone to experiment at home with aging or finishing, what type or size of barrel would you recommend?
I would say, save up a bunch of whiskey and get a 53 gallon. But I mean, if it depends on what your goals are. I mean, you're not going to make mature whiskey out of a 5, 10, or 15 gallon barrel. You might make some good whiskey, but it's not going to be mature whiskey. So I would say that the minimum would be somewhere in 30, 35 gallons if I had to, and that's just a guess.
Yeah, experiment a 1 gallon, a 5 gallon, they're tough. I mean, they're just so different than what you're used to drinking out of a 53 gallon barrel. So
It's based on the ratio, though, right? I mean, you got.
Well, I don't know. You tell me. Have you tasted whiskey out of small barrels versus out of big barrels, and that you knew came out of a small barrel, and how much different they were? And not because we don't make small barrels, but Andrew and I literally, and we're not pros at this by any means. There's people who can taste whiskey better than Andrew and I, or I'll just speak for myself. Andrew's pretty good, but we can literally pick.
You're better than me.
I don't know about that, but we can pick out a small barrel out of a line.
I mean,
almost
basically, I've experienced myself. I had a 3 gallon barrel, and I filled it with it was the Buffalo Trace Mash Bill #1. I think it was their White Dog, and I moved it around for like 3 or 4 months between the basement, the attic, out on the deck. Just moved it around, kind of trying to mimic seasons. After 4 months, it produced a pretty decent bourbon. We've got a bottle here right now. Again, White Dog Mash Bill #1 that was done in a 5 gallon barrel over 4 months, I believe. And I mean, it's turned out pretty decent too. So it's kind of,
well, like I said, you can make decent tasting whiskey. You just can't make mature whiskey. And I'll tell you, if you send me and Chad at least 4 ounces of that, we'll run it through GCMS, and then we'll come back on another show. We'll show you the data, and we'll explain exactly why you can't make it mature whiskey. How about that?
okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that definitely. I will definitely do that. I mean, because I'm curious too. I mean, because we've talked about experimenting ourselves. Making our own little distillate, putting it in a 5 gallon barrel, seeing what it'll do over 6 months, 8 months, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
All right, we gotta really get through these questions.
Sorry.
Yep. Let's go.
Ethan Spalding wants to know: is there a project the research center at ISC hangs its hat on?
Next question.
So yeah, that's Ethan, my son there. So he's jabbing. Probably not jabbing. I think whenever I bring people into the research center and I take them through the whiskey library that we have, I typically tell them the coolest experiment that I think that we have is the climate experiment, Andrew, where we had one distillery that made 30 barrels worth of juice
So good.
We made 30 barrels with the exact same profile, toast, char, seasoning, everything. And then we aged those in 6 different locations. And to see the difference between the whiskey that aged in Kentucky versus the whiskey that aged in Seattle versus the whiskey that aged in Scotland versus the whiskey that aged in Texas is pretty cool. Like, I think that's probably one of the cooler experiments that we did is that experiment itself.
Yeah, Milam and Green did one a couple years ago. That
Yeah, we gotta get through these questions.
all right, sorry.
We're way late. All right, let's go.
Let's see.
Keep
Let's see.
going.
CJP wants to know: do you typically get 40-foot logs like normal logging, or do your logs come in on pup trucks with 2 short stacks of logs?
At 40, it's longer.
Yeah, two short stacks. Typically, we're only buying and gathering the white oak logs when the limbs start in a white oak tree and they don't get to 40 foot. So normally a 20-foot log would be a good sized log for us.
I had a joke there earlier, but now I'm not gonna say it. Go ahead.
Let's see. Mr. Great Shot wants to know: are we still running out of American white oak, or is there any plan in place to remedy the issue?
This is a quick answer.
issue.
We are not running out of white oak. We got plenty.
We're not cutting enough white oak.
Right. There's more dying than we're cutting, probably.
Wow.
So that was a concern, with the boom that we were having.
It wasn't a
gonna
concern that there wasn't enough white oak out there. It was a concern that we couldn't get it cut fast enough.
Oh, is that what it was? I thought it'd been more of the quality.
Oh no, there was plenty of it out there. We just
Cool.
we couldn't cut it fast enough.
We're only 6%. We're only 6% of that white oak market.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're small players. We're small players in that game.
Only one.
But we get the blame for cutting down trees. I'd say more so than anybody else does.
Interesting.
All right. Next one. What kind of tools are you using to measure all of the metrics on your experimental barrel batches?
We use GCMS. We use HPLC. We use UV Viz. We use we use a handful of different analytical tools to understand what flavors are being put into the whiskey, what faults are in the whiskey. We also test wood. We test water using a variety of different instruments. So it is quite a lot.
Cool. There you go, Chris. If you understood any of that stuff, you let me know because that was way above my head.
We're getting Jason.
Just
Brown.
know that whatever you get from them, you're pretty in good hands.
So we take from every cooperage, we take samples on a daily basis. We grind up the staves, we send them into our lab, and we do what's called a quality check. And what we're doing there is we're checking to make sure that the flavors that are supposed to be in a char 3 or a char 4 or a toasted char 1 are the flavors that are in there. We do that so that if you order a barrel from Missouri cooperage, it tastes the same as a barrel from Kentucky cooperage. And we do that every single day. So we do a lot of different quality checks and using analytical equipment to do so. Again, GCMS, HPLC.
Sure. Interesting.
All right. CJP wants to know: are there customers that require their barrels to have a certain maximum number of staves? For whatever reason, they avoid the narrower, higher count stave barrels.
So in general, we have specs per customer that says you can put this many up to this many staves per barrel. And I mean, most of the time, the distillers will just rely on us to tell them what that needs to be. But there's specific occasions when smaller customers, we will coach them into a higher piece count barrel based on what they want to do with that product. Because we understand, just as I mentioned earlier, a higher piece count barrel has a little bit more exchanges going on because there's more opportunities for, evaporation and oxygenation and all that different stuff going on inside the barrel.
Interesting.
You know, before we get to the next one, this is going to be a great replay for anybody who wants to watch this over again, because you can watch it over again and just kind of just soak all that information. This is great information tonight, by the way.
It's geeky. I mean,
it is. This is great.
Yeah.
Tyler.
I've been called a lot of things, and geeky is one of them. And I am not that smart. Andrew is a smart guy. Believe me.
I love it. I
You
mean,
guys come to the right place.
And
'cause that's
I got to be
where
honest,
we
this is probably the most questions we've ever had on the stream.
Yeah.
Because
Andrew and I are all about setting records. That's what we.
There you go.
yeah, I'm an engineer myself, so
Yeah, we
I'm
can tell.
I'm constantly kind of thinking this too.
Yeah.
So I'm being told to shut up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Well,
go.
I'll just say we have.
All right. Ashley McAdory wants to know what region produces the best white oak.
I tell you what, if you make a barrel out of Missouri oak and you make a barrel out of Kentucky oak and you put whiskey in there for 4 years, and if you can tell me the difference, I will be very impressed.
Same environment.
Wow.
Same environment. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Wow.
typically, I mean, white oak is white oak is white oak.
Right.
White oak. Okay.
And even when you get into the, the Garyana oaks and the Chinkapin oaks, I mean, there's
Such a finite difference.
there's so little difference. And we've done all the analysis on it. But yeah, it's very hard to tell. Or if not impossible to tell.
Chris Barlow, he said he's being I think it probably goes along with the joke I said earlier when he's talking about the 40 football.
Well, I do like
We
East
won't
Coast
go into that.
whiskey
I
sippers
did have
question.
Skyline Chili today.
So I have a question for you guys. What are you guys sipping on there, by the way?
So we were thinking, and we may be absolutely wrong, but it was some Jack Daniels toasted.
Yep.
We were sipping on some of that stuff. Some Eliza Craig toasted.
This is the barrel proof toasted.
But
Private
I
barrel,
mean,
barrel proof.
we got Heaven Hill products. We got Jack Daniels product. You
Yeah.
mentioned Jim.
So
I mean,
the Elijah Craig Toasted
that cat around here
Barrel
with that.
project started and ended at the research center where Andrew and I work. So Andrew, when stuff like that comes up, Heaven Hill comes to ISC, their preferred barrel supplier, and says, we're dreaming up this toasted barrel finished product. Can you help us do it? And then Andrew works with their innovation team or their marketing team or their distillery team, and does this experiment on, toasted barrel finish, different versions of it, and then they land on it. But most of those almost always start at the research center with Andrew.
Really? Wow.
Wow.
These are phenomenal.
And we would have pulled out some Jason Bronner bottles, but I didn't realize you guys had I guess we should have known that because he talked about you guys before. It's in our other side of the basement, our Buzzard Roost. But anyways, no, this was a great show tonight. Man, this is something that I actually kind of want to rewatch.
As I say, we could probably go on another hour.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, with all the information,
Yeah.
But let's have you guys back on later on, and because we're gonna have probably some more afterthoughts as far as what to continue to ask, and obviously with the state of bourbon, the way it is, things of that nature. One thing I do want to ask, and I don't, I'll email you guys. I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but nevertheless, we do appreciate you guys coming on tonight.
Yeah. Thank you
Yep.
guys. It's been
Absolutely.
awesome.
We appreciate you guys. We always love to talk about the good word of wood and barrels, and us working for ISC being the world's largest. We just want to make sure that everybody understands where we're coming from, and that we're a big company, but we love what we do, and we're consumers at heart. So we want to make sure that we make the best barrels and barrel options that we can for all the distilleries that we sell barrels to, so we can drink it at the end of it.
Yeah, and you're just one piece of the puzzle, really. I mean,
Yeah.
being honest, I mean, you're talking about you
Certainly.
got your cork people, you got your the distiller itself, the mash bill, the barrel. I mean, you're just a piece in the puzzle.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. This is the first time we've had somebody kind of on the behind the scenes of the bourbon world,
Sure.
whiskey world. We're all trying to learn it.
Yeah.
Gandy
Yeah, that's
mentions
awesome.
you guys on chat, you guys can sign up for the ISC newsletter. It's a lot of
1000%.
information. Who writes that, by the way? Do one of you two write that, or obviously you feed them information?
You can take one good look at me and know that I am not a writer. So, Andrew writes most of our blog posts, along with our marketing team pitches in, but almost 99% of that is Andrew.
And I saw a challenge on there about Chinkapin Oak, and we always get that. Somebody's very defensive about Garyana or Chinkapin, but maybe tomorrow. I bet you couldn't. But tomorrow I'll post, maybe if I can, I'll try to post the chemical data between American oak, Mizunara oak, and Chinkapin oak. And you'll be very surprised.
Oh, interesting. So so guys, sign up for the newsletter. If nothing else, you want to nerd out. Andrew is the guy behind it. It looks like, and what a great show tonight. Appreciate you guys coming on. I didn't know we all didn't know what to expect.
No,
because usually we're drinking someone's samples and all that kind of stuff, and that's all great and everything. But it's nice to take a break from that and kind of learn, to Jeff's point, behind the scenes. So we'll definitely want to have you guys back on down the road. And again, I appreciate you guys coming on tonight.
No, thank you, and
thanks for having us.
Follow us on all the socials at ISC Barrels.
Yes,
on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. So follow us on that, and cheers. Drink more whiskey, folks.
Yep.
Cheers, Chad.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Jason on here and we'll all geek out one
Man,
night.
wouldn't that be a nice round table?
Heck yeah. Let's do
All
it.
right, very good. All right, thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Appreciate it.
Cheers,
All right.
guys.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Great
All right,
questions.
thanks. All right.
Wow.
Oh, that was fantastic.
That was
Dude, I could sit there and just
Well, that's what I was saying. I
Yeah.
mean, we could sit here and ask questions all
Just-
night long.
just-
yeah,
talk
but
with them,
you know,
so.
some of us got to work tomorrow.
I know. I know.
I know.
Yeah, we gotta
And,
move it along. All right, where are we at with our giveaway tool, Tyler, on our hashtag game? Hashtag ISC, by the way. We got 38 people. We'll give it a minute for you guys to chime in on hashtag ISC. If you guys are interested, come on into the hashtag game. We'll spin that here in a moment. And then also tonight's super chat. 2 of the 3 we know that ISC uses. I gotta be honest with you, I threw in the third one just because you guys are so sick and tired of me talking about this. And I figured, like, screw it, I'm gonna put it in super chat tonight. But it's a Good Times pecan pie. I'm telling you guys, I cannot stop talking about that thing.
I
That
know.
is so good.
It's good.
That's
It is
my flavored whiskey. I would say over the year because it's only April, but
right.
thus far. But anyways, you guys will get a sample of that along with the stuff that ISC uses as far as through their cooperage on Jack Daniel's Toasted. Jack Daniel's 14 and the Heaven Hill 14 Select Stock. Now, if you are a Patreon, don't forget you can switch out any of those things if you happen to be the winner tonight. You guys can switch out those samples with any sample that you particularly like, and you can check that out on Only Drams at Bourbon and Ballz. You can see what bottles we have. So that being said, I do have to go into some Patreon news. So I'm going to bore you guys for a quick second, but for you Patreon participants, you're going to find this interesting. And then for your non-Patreon, you know what? It gives you an opportunity to become a paid Patreon. We try to do a lot through Patreon.
Yeah.
We really do.
You got different tiers for different people.
I think we're a pretty active Patreon channel.
Try to be.
Great.
Yeah.
So, all right. That being said, congratulations to our March Madness winners for Michigan winning. We did a bracket, and Chris Barlow is our Remus 9 bottle winner. That will be shipped out to you.
Chris.
Gary McDonald won the Silver Spring Rye. I'm putting an asterisk on that one, Gary, just because I don't have the
That's
bottle.
a good one.
I have to
That's
look it up.
That's a good bottle.
But anyways, I'm gonna go get that because I need another one. I ran out. West Virginia bourbon guy, he gets third place with the Bourbon and Ballz Kentucky Trail Glass.
Nice.
That being said, moving on, we currently have the Masters going on today. So you don't realize that obviously we do a lot of sports games in our Patreon right now. We're doing the Masters.
The
We just got that
balls
new
of our name.
March Madness. But the winner gets, everybody got a golfer. The winner gets the Augusta single barrel, and specifically they're going to get the Jay West pick.
Nice.
Okay.
So I went out my way to
Take
got
it?
that pick.
Dude,
Yep,
the
the
take?
take.
Specifically,
Oh,
the
yes.
take pick.
And then the second place winner
Oh,
get 3
they're always
2-ounce premium pours, and then the third place will get the Bourbon and Ballz glass.
Sweet.
Okay. Congratulations to Gerald Romine, which, by the way, he likes to go by Jerry.
That's right.
Just so you
Jerry.
know.
Okay.
So Jerry Romine,
Yeah.
he won Poker Tuesday. We do that at the last Tuesday of every month. They're on Patreon. It's a nice Texas Hold'em that we do. He wins some random samples. Another thing that I'm going to do for Patreon. Hold on, what was that? It's Jeff. Oh my God! All right, so let me get through this Patreon news.
Okay.
Eliza Craig,
Wow.
15.
Are there 3? I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Right here. Here's the bottle. Here's the bottle right there. Eliza Craig, newly released. Eliza Craig, 15 single barrel, newly released,
And
allocated.
it's good.
If you guys are interested in that for paid Patreons, the way we set it up is you guys can go into Patreon, check your emails, check the post. There's a Google Forms. Everybody is allotted one $5 ticket right now, so that everybody has a chance to buy up until Friday. On Saturday at noon, we will have more opportunities for the top tier to buy X amount of tickets. I think it's up to 5. Then on Sunday, there's the next tier. They can now start buying up to 4 tickets. Monday, you get the pattern. Okay.
Gotcha.
We only have 15 tickets left. That means 25 Patreon members have already bought the $5 ticket. They cannot buy any more until Saturday if you're a top tier. And it goes down.
everybody
Anyways,
gets a chance.
once it's full, I fully expect it for it to be full by this time next stream, which, by the way, it is next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. That's
because
correct.
of
Spillway.
Spillway.
Spillway. Right.
And we'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Yep.
So anyways, I fully expect to spin the wheel then, and then one lucky person will win the entire bottle of Eliza Craig 15.
That's good.
And I think what we'll do is if I ever run across these allocated bottles, I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to run it through Patreon, and we'll I traded for these bottles, full disclosure. So unfortunately, I traded for secondary value. So I end up trading a little bit more, but it is what it is. But
That's good.
anyways, that being said, anytime we get an allocated bottle, we just want to break even on that. But that's our way of Patreon to be more active, and we'll start doing more of these duck races when it comes up. So that being said, 15 tickets left for paid Patreon. All right, two more things. Sorry. Tomorrow night, if you got the latest Old Rick pick that we got, obviously we are sold out of it. Where'd it go? This is it. The Old Rick. Tomorrow night, Google Meets.
Oh,
We are going to we are going to do the Old Rick pick. We're going to crack it open together. For those who are fortunate to buy one through our barrel pick, we are currently sold out. Not currently, we are sold out. But nevertheless, we're going to crack it open. To me, this is probably one of the best whiskeys I've ever had.
Oh yeah,
Fantastic. Yes. Speaking of Old Rick, I spoke to Good Times. I texted him a couple days ago. He responded to me yesterday or this morning, whatever it was. They now have an Old Rick hazmat. Right. So
did they list an age statement on it or not?
It's 19 years.
Okay.
19 years hazmat.
Wow.
So it's basically an Old Rick hazmat. This is here. It's about a 30 proof.
Okay.
And everybody got it for $225 with your paid Patreon.
Yeah.
Even though it's $300 in the gift shop.
In the gift shop. Yep. With
So
that's
yes.
before tax.
That's the $300
that's
before
before
tax,
tax,
all that
and
shipping, all that
everything
stuff.
else.
This was
Right.
$225 out the door
right.
for paid Patreons.
Yep. Everybody.
So Old Rick hazmat. Here's what I'm going to do. We're not going to do a barrel pick on this because it's only one barrel. There's nothing to pick from.
Right.
Here's what I'm going to offer up for you paid patrons. If you guys are interested, in the next couple of days, probably by Saturday, I'm going to email and paid Patreon way a Google form to where if you would like to get it. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, in the gift shop, they are selling it for $400, $399.
400.
But we got a Bourbon and Ballz discount.
All right.
We got a Bourbon and Ballz discount down to $275
Out
for
the
a
door.
hazmat
Now that's out the door.
Out the door.
out the door.
Okay.
Meaning that I will go down there. You need to put the order in by April 24th.
You'll ship.
and I'm gonna go down there April 25th because I'm gonna already go down there and get some more pecan pie because I'm running out. So Mark gonna be down there.
Okay.
So I will pick up whoever's bottles that they want. You got to prepay it. Okay. I will pick them up and I will ship them to you guys as a courtesy for being a paid patron on Bourbon and Ballz. Wow. But you will get a Bourbon and Ballz price of $275 versus the $399. So you get about $125 off.
Have to go in
hell of a deal.
Ship it to them.
Right? Oh, yeah, you got $125 off.
$125 off before tax. That's $400.
This is out the door. Yeah, this is out the door. So anyways, you got the interested, stay close to your emails. I will actually, when I say emails, I'll post it on Patreon. You'll get it pushes out the email.
I like Snowboom's question about, is it good times pecan pie Bourbon and Ballz pick?
Dude.
I mean, as much as you're talking about having to go down and keep getting bottles.
You know what?
I'm about to buy the whole barrel.
I'm wondering.
Myself. Yes, it's one of the best flavored whiskeys I've had in a very, very, very long time.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's great.
Ashley, what are you in trouble with? I mean, Harold's buying bottles too. I mean, who are you in trouble for?
Also, okay, Snow Baboon, pecan pie. All right. Ooh, man, you guys are killing me. Patreon people, if you want pecan pie, Jesus Christ. Let me see how much I can get it for. We'll talk.
Don't commit to anything.
I'm not committing anything now. Let me talk to them, see if I get a Bourbon and Ballz price. Let me see how much it could be out the door if you guys want to do that. I'll pick up the bottles for you. I know this is crazy, but freaking F it, because I mean, we love our patrons and I don't mind doing the work. I'm already going down there. It's just, the pecan pie is damn good.
It is.
Yeah.
It's $125, I think, in the store. I'm able to convince them to get it for $99. I think. Don't quote me on it. That's what they did last time. But I gotta tell you what, I can be honest with you. Good times. They're like the wizard. They're like the guy behind the green curtain. You don't want to know how they make the crap.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
And honestly, it depends on what day you go. And I ain't lying. And I'm sorry if they get offended. Depending on what day you go, depending on what freaking price you get.
Yeah.
Like it is like
you never
what's dynamic pricing?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
red surge pricing, like if
on the Reds game or you go to the baseball game, it's dynamic pricing depending on who they're playing, depending on what the price. I don't know, man. I went in there a month ago, and they said I can get any good time for $99. They were all $125. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that I could get that again.
Right.
I will reach out to them since someone's asking about the pecan pie.
We'll see.
All right, there we go. Anything? I don't have anything else, but I wanted to make sure that was the Patreon news. So if you sign up for Patreon, I hope you appreciate what we're trying to do for you all. We don't mind putting the work. I think you guys are the ones that help support this channel, along with the super chats, by the way. We'll get into that here in a minute. But you guys are able to help us do barrel picks. You guys are able to help us to do do these Elijah Craig 15 things and just games, Poker Tuesday. Oh, we got the murder mystery thing going on every Monday.
There's always something.
Do we have a new clue for that?
Yep.
It already got sent out in the mail.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, anyways, that being said, any of you guys got anything on before we do the hashtag game? Because we got to speed things up. I had to get through that.
Well, I do want to come up or basically announce coming up at the end of May.
You're pregnant.
I am. I'm 9 months pregnant. I got a baby elephant that's coming. Thank you.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry.
Trunk is already out.
You give me a huge favor. Because you got me going now. Can you go get me the open bottle of the pecan pie in the other room?
Oh shit!
I'm sorry.
But we sat here. We've talked about different things. We've talked, as you know, listening to our interviews with some of our guests. We talk about how the bourbon market is trending, what they're seeing, what they're feeling. What we've decided to do, we're going to have a what we're calling a Bourbon and Ballz.
Oh yes,
roundtable. It is scheduled for May 28th. It's going to be on a regular Thursday night. We have some pretty decent guests here lined up. It's all going to be one kind of there's your
pecan pie, dude.
Pecan pie, but it's going to be a roundtable. we're going to have everybody on the screen. We're going to have Marlene Holmes from Milam and Green, Bill McBrayer from McBrayer Legacy Spirits, Whitney from Coalpick. We got Mark Gillespie from the Whiskey Cast podcast. Lisa Wicker from Whiskey Thief. We are talking with a few others that
I don't want to put the guys on the spot, but I think that'd be a neat spin to it.
that would be that would
So
be.
I'll email them tomorrow, see if they
Yeah.
come on, and then we'll probably cap it there.
So basically, we're going to have
And they're
a
all Bourbon
panel.
and Ballz guests.
they're all previous Bourbon and Ballz guests. We're going to have a panel, and we're going to sit. You guys are going to be able to ask questions like we're asking questions on basically, this round anyway. This round table is where the economy is, where the bourbon market is, where they're seeing things, where they're feeling things, just to kind of get an industry wide feel of what they're seeing. So
Come with your questions.
yeah, come with questions. Send them ahead of time if you want. Send us an email, bourbonandballs@gmail.com.
What are you doing?
We'll have them ready. I mean, we'll get them ready.
You mean
But
Tyler will get them ready.
Tyler will get them ready. Yeah. But this is our first, I guess, what's the word?
I just say.
Foray. What do they call that? Where we're outside of our comfort zone.
Okay.
As far as we're sitting one-on-one with a distiller or something with the industry. And now we're going to have a panel. So, and everybody's going to be able to chime in. We're going to have it on a Zoom type call, and everybody be able to ask the questions and then figure out where everybody feels they are.
Pretty cool.
So
First one. See
first
how it
one,
goes,
first one. Yep.
And then
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air.
there.
Dead air.
Hold on, Tyler. Tyler's
You know what? I got to give a shout out to my buddy Sean, who gave me a sample of that the other day, yesterday actually.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna give a shout out to Jeff. I never do this.
Oh, what'd I do?
Well, no, you get credit. First Thursday in May, you booked Jack Daniels.
Yes, I did.
Hey,
That's a
dude,
that's a
freaking
huge
huge.
get.
Yeah.
So they are sending their media samples and whatnot, but more importantly, Jack Daniels, master distiller himself, is
Chris.
coming on.
Yep.
So we get to have an evening.
That's
with
the
him.
schedule. Everything's been
Wow.
scheduled.
Yeah.
Everything's been.
That's
Yep.
So,
So
good job,
that's
Jeff,
the plan.
on that. And then we have a great May going on.
Make sure everything goes right.
So tonight it was weird. We do everything the same way we always.
I
have
know.
done. We
I
weren't
know.
rushed tonight. We were fine. And then for some reason the video was not connecting to StreamYard, our software that we use. I don't know what happened, and the chat was working just fine. So I knew we were connected.
Right.
So, and that kind of discombobulated everything. That's why I had to shut down the stream tonight and restart it to a generic stream. That being said, I appreciate you guys moving over and all that kind of stuff, because it turned out to be a wonderful evening with them. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, it was a great one. So, but
Yeah. I think having them on and bring Jason with them. Oh man, that would be talk about a geek out night.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
man.
all right, real quick. Let's spin the hashtag if you would. Let's get that.
Where do we get a hat? Somebody's asking about a
Get
hat.
a hat.
Oh, look at these, man. Yeah, Charlie got us.
Yeah, I got the
sported
team.
out.
I got you guys some hats. I got Tyler a hat
Right.
too, and all that kind of stuff. So
Man,
the hats are not yet available. That's something that we're working on as far as in bigger quantities. Right now, I got to be honest with you. I'm just trying to play catch up right now. We owe a bunch of people a bunch of T-shirts. We have a crap ton of T-shirts over there that we have to mail out.
Mail out.
I bet you it's like 8 or 9 people.
It's Chad's fault.
Yeah,
it's always my fault.
but anyways, yeah, we'll have a merch store before we know it, and the hat will be involved, and some other things.
We're working
will be
on our
involved as well.
website.
Yeah, well, you've been working on it
I'm
for 2
working.
months.
I know.
So, anyways, that being said, we're
not
working on
easy.
it, just not yet.
I know. We all get busy.
Let's roll with the ISC.
It's impossible.
It is.
50 people
To keep up with
in.
everything.
That's great. Let's do it. Let's see if Keith wins again. He won the pregame. Did I call it? I call my shot. Nope. Oh, Open Agave. Awesome.
Oh, there we go.
They have their own channel too, by the way, guys. Go out and check them out if you would.
Agave.
And this is for
Open
the
Agave, first of all, is Open Agave here?
first
Jeff, why don't
hashtag,
you
right?
just pour. Snow Open wants to know.
What did I just pour?
Yes.
I just poured the Founders Reserve Cast Strength from Conviction.
Very good.
Didn't we give that away tonight?
Did we? No.
We pulled that back.
You were thinking
Oh, we
of
talked
the
about it.
Chattanooga.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Same looking bottle.
But yeah, that's what I just poured.
Is Oak and Agave here? Oak and Agave. Are they here? I do not see them in chat.
Give me a few seconds.
Yeah, we'll give them a few seconds. Otherwise, we will spit again. And then Scott Brown will be included now because he's a latecomer.
Yep. And just throwing this out there, we talked about Bourbon on the Banks. We talk about it all the time.
Oh, you know they're sold out except for
They are
Twilight?
sold out for Twilight. Yep. Except for Twilight. You have, I think there's 50 tickets left.
I love how Dave says spin again, like right away,
Yeah.
as if he's got it. Well, right.
Well, while we're waiting, Jeff, can you give me the Venmos for the super chat?
Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah. Good question.
And we'll give them some time to.
Well,
See if
they're
they're
gone. Let's move on. Unfortunately, can you
Okay.
multi?
Let's see.
All right, let's
get
go ahead and
this.
draw again, and then Jeffro can give you. And then, do you have my
Alright.
Patreon list for Plus membership?
Yes.
Okay.
And the new winner is Gary,
Gary
McDonald.
McDonald.
Gary.
Nice.
Congrats, man.
Now is
That's
Gary here?
A two-time winner.
We'll see.
He won
You won what?
March Madness.
Oh yeah, that's right.
A little bit of it.
That's right.
I think Dave wants to keep on spinning until he wins. Gary McDonald. Yes, thank you, Gary.
Nice.
All right, brother. That's right. Gary's Dave down here. Oak and Agave. I apologize if you're here, but you got to be here to at least present at the time that we spin it.
All right.
Gary.
I've got, I guess some Venmos for you.
Give me 1 second. Okay,
All
go
right.
ahead.
You want to go over there while Chad and I talk?
Sure.
People don't want to hear about that. Just
All right. Good.
that does no good.
Here you go. Go
Oh my
over,
god, he
dude.
doesn't even move.
Well,
He just leans.
it's harder. It's harder in life.
He just-
man. It's
He
harder in
just
life to
leans
move
and
around.
thinking. Let's talk about life itself. I went to get a haircut the other day,
Yeah.
and I went to Great Clips,
Mhm.
and I got a discount for senior citizen.
Are you surprised by this?
Yeah, I am, because you know why? Because I looked on the board as to what senior citizen was, and I'm thinking it's 55.
Yeah.
No, the freaking thing said 65.
Oh, you kind of have that.
You know what, though?
65 vibe.
I didn't say anything because I want that discount,
You freaking
Right.
stole.
but I
from
left off pretty like,
me. No,
yeah.
it's not because I think it's because you're only getting like you don't have full hair.
Oh, they give me
How
a
long did
discount.
it take you?
Oh, it took her like 5 minutes.
10 seconds.
Yes, it was the
Just
easiest
a
haircut she did
zip.
all day.
That's probably what it
A
was.
number
She
2
felt
all the way
bad.
around.
She probably felt bad for you, dude. Like I can't charge you full price for this thing.
So I'm gonna charge you senior citizen.
She's trying to
I'm
help you, doesn't
back.
Charge me like a kid.
she? A kitty price.
Where'd you go?
All right.
Great clips.
Huh.
It ain't that hard to cut my hair, dude. Number 2
Oh,
clip,
yeah.
you're done.
I'm a zero.
What do you mean you're a zero?
Zero high and tight.
That is not 0.
Well, no, I got it cut a week ago. So
No. That on your top is not a 0.
no, zero high and tight. Zero on the sides and back, and then shortest you can get it on top.
Oh, by your fingers?
Yeah. So it's like skin all the way around.
Well, you're wearing a hat. How
I'm-
do you wear a hat? How much time?
I wear a hat
90%
almost
of
every
the time?
yeah, 90% of the
You
time.
don't even get your hair cut, man. Let it grow.
Oh no, and I start getting wings. Start growing wings out my
Oh,
ears
that'd
and
be
shit.
cool.
Yeah.
Go flying.
Tyler, take us home.
All right.
All right.
Share the screen and let's get that out of here.
Let's see.
All right, thank you to the following people on the super chat. What is it now?
Next week we have a special guest. It's on a Tuesday night.
Tuesday.
That's right. Tuesday next week because we're going to be in Spillway the rest of the week.
Yeah, if we make it down there.
But we've got Garrett Gleason, who is the director, writer, movie director for a movie called Van Gogh Fast. It is a kind of like
has he made the movie yet?
yes, the movie's made. It's going to be premiering this.
Can I ask you something? And I'm being just dead honest. I shouldn't do this here because I may take the Tuesday show. Is he just coming on just to crowdsource this?
No,
Or he's gonna
no.
ask for some money.
No, not at all.
He
He's just,
better not.
he's just coming on to talk about, promote the. If you've seen the movie Sideways, which was basically the
No, I
wine,
get it.
this is the bourbon story of
Is it
Sideways.
out?
It will be out in May,
Where?
all over the
Like on
country.
CW
The,
or
the
what?
night, the weekend of the Derby is when it's going to be released
In theaters?
in theaters.
In theaters.
In theaters.
In
This
theaters.
is
In theaters.
And we're gonna have him on the
In
show.
theaters.
Yes, we're going to have him on the show.
Okay.
If I find him on CW, I'm just saying.
He's telling me he's going to be releasing nationwide in theaters weekend of the Derby,
Okay.
because it's all based on the
What
Bourbon
theater?
Trail and the Derby and how it
better
all
be good.
ties.
Okay. Cool. All right. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Van
All
Gogh
right.
Fast is
Van
the
Gogh
name of the
Fast.
movie.
Cool.
Van go down.
All right.
All right,
Here we
for
go.
the super chats tonight. Whiskey Nose, cheers everyone, and happy Friday Eve.
Oh yes, nice.
Michael Bortner, over the falls in a barrel.
Hold on, what?
I think he might be referencing Niagara Falls. You can ride a barrel off Niagara Falls.
Okay.
You been in Niagara Falls?
No.
You never been?
Go to the Canadian side, man.
Nope, never been.
The Canadian side is like the Gatlinburg of Canada.
It is, but the view is a lot better.
Oh well, sure. Yeah,
So,
U.S. side sucks.
yeah.
They need
It's
to pump
pretty
some money
low.
in that side. It's
No.
like dated and it sucks. They
Yeah.
got that old ass restaurant. And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. No,
Never
go to
been.
Canadian side.
Never
Yeah,
been.
go
Couldn't tell you.
Crossover.
Well, there's a spot on the bridge where you can have 1 foot in Canada, 1 foot in America. It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Okay.
All right, anyways.
All right,
I'm sure that's not what he meant. But go ahead.
Gandhi, ISC issues a great newsletter. Yes, if
Oh yes.
you want to learn more, please subscribe to that. Ashley, happy birthday to my love, Harold McAdory.
I love the
Happy
fact that Tyler
birthday.
just said that out loud.
Birthday, Harold.
Yeah, happy birthday, buddy.
All right, David
I bet
Tenko.
he gets it. I wonder if he gets a discount at Great Clips.
He might now.
I don't think he's that age. There's no way. I think I'm older than he is.
Cheers, hit that like button.
Not everybody's lucky. to see Charlie.
Top Jimmy. Cheers,
Top Jimmy.
gents.
Oh, which by the way, that reminds me, Whiskey Nose is going to be on this show in a couple of weeks.
Who is Top Jimmy? That's a new one. I haven't seen Top Jimmy before.
Crickets.
I'm gonna let this go. This is I didn't even know where to go with this comment.
Top
All right.
Jimmy.
Keep going.
All right.
Go, go, go,
All
go,
right.
go.
Jay
gotta get
Cornett,
through
thank
this.
you for your super chat. David Tenko, hit that
I'm
like
sorry,
button.
buddy. I'm sorry.
Frank, cheers. Chris Barlow, great log.
That's funny.
Great.
Husky Dog, cheers. Thank you for the super chat. Rick Miller, joined late but great interview.
You
Yes,
know what
it
though?
was.
Rewind it. Watch the replay. I'm telling you, I might rewind it and watch it. That was a great interview.
Let's see, Dooley, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, sir.
CA Scotty, cheers. Happy Thursday to you too. Brian Callahan, cheers. Sorry I was late.
Oh, better late than never.
And Miker, Terry is still waiting on his samples he won. Yes, they are packaged. They will be mailed out.
And why they weren't sent out last week? Because we were one man short on the crew, and crap gets whatever.
Shit gets done. Hey, dude. Like, hey, it is what it is.
It's your fault.
It
Everybody
is
look
my
at Chad.
fault. But, you know, it was pretty cool. You know, check out Neat Plans and Poor Decisions, their show, if you've never seen it.
Why all of a sudden you just plug them in?
Because I was down there with them.
Are they on
Part
it?
of-
Oh, you were down there.
I
That's
was
why you
down
had prior
there
obligations.
with them and
Did
prior
you go-
obligations.
Did you go down to Watch Hill proper?
Went down to
Dude,
Watch
you
Hill
live
proper. I don't live there.
Oh my god, dude!
You're
You got-
acting
you got a
like-
running tab like Norm.
I don't.
Norm.
But no, it was cool meeting.
I don't eat that bougie food as much as you do.
Whatever.
Chad,
are
the
a
Watch
bougie.
Hill proper is
I am
Charlie to
not
Cox
bougie at
Creek.
all. Like that's not me. It is not like it is. It
Miker,
was cool.
we'll get those samples out to you.
Hey
buddy.
Charlie, can you check PayPal?
Oh, yes, I can.
But no, it was fun. Great catching up with them.
Mark. Oh, crap. Yes. Put Terry in because he Venmoed Erica from upstairs, and Erica's asleep. Put
How many for him?
shit. You would ask me that, wouldn't you? One.
Okay.
Let's see here. West Virginia bourbon guy, which by the way, he goes on Saturday nights at 9:00. Put him down for 2 ducks. And I think we're good on that end. Can you double check the chat? Make sure we didn't miss anybody. We got a new role here, and we don't do it intentionally. But if we happen to forget you, because we're going poor by if we stick to the rules that we were going to, we're just going to unfortunately have to put you on next week's stream if we miss you.
It is what it is.
It's just an honest mistake.
Yeah.
But if you're not listed on what Tyler is showing,
The regional manager over there.
yes, you need to share the screen, my friend. Yes,
That's great. I got the assistant to the regional manager, so I might have to wear that.
It's a cool shirt.
That's awesome.
and thanks again, Tyler, for producing the show. I'm telling you, I talked to a West Virginia bourbon guy earlier today. He's like, Troy, I could tell when Tyler produces the show and when he doesn't. He's like, you're happier and more relaxed when Tyler produces the show.
yeah.
And it's true.
I mean, he is.
Well, and I will.
fantastic.
This will probably disappoint everybody, but next Tuesday I will not be here.
Oh, okay.
Way to announce it right here. You didn't tell us this before.
Charlie,
He
you
told
knew.
me.
Did you put in?
I didn't
did you
know.
Put in.
He told me.
Where are you going?
All right.
He put in his PTO request to me. I did. I have not approved it yet, but it
Tuesday's
is
not
there.
good for
Because
you,
we
right?
know that Jeff is the balls in Bourbon and Ballz.
That's right.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
damn right.
He's the ant.
All
I'm
right.
the
Run
balls of
Run
it all.
Let's do it.
All
Yeah,
right.
hold on.
gotta
Hold
get
on.
going.
Hold on. Make sure chat agrees with the list.
Okay.
Show everybody the list.
All right. So we have Whiskey Nose.
And it goes all the way
Michael
down
Hortner.
to
All the way down to CA Scotty is from the super chats. Then
Yeah.
starting at CJ Scotty.
you put the plus members in.
Yep. From CA Scotty's second one all the way down. We have the Premium Plus. And then starting at Jerry all the way down
Did
to
you put
West
the
Virginia.
new guy in today? Oh no, never mind. He's not premium plus. Never mind. Sorry.
Thank you guys for your super chats.
But I believe we have
All right,
everybody.
check
if-
chat real quick. Make sure no one's screaming at you.
Venmos.
Anybody screaming at you at chat?
And we'll check the Venmos.
And then did you do a foodie race or a duck?
So it looks like Mike is saying Venmo to Erica
Yeah.
from Terry is for the Elijah Craig ticket, not
Oh
for
crap,
Super
crap. Take Terry out. Sorry.
Sorry about that. We
You're
will-
right. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you for the correction.
All
Gotta
right.
correct him. Got to.
Oh,
got to.
make sure you fill out the form. CJ
Sounds
Bourbon, I'm gonna call you out on this live stream. I'm sorry to do this, but you are an example, and I'm gonna make a. You pay me the money for the EC 15, but you didn't fill out the form. If you don't fill out the form, you can't count you. Because all I do is copy and paste.
Right.
You've got to fill out the form. So
No, I get it.
please, please, please fill out the form. Fill out the form.
Fill out the form.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not
Micro
making-
says they have filled out the form.
Fill
Awesome.
out, fill out the
Thank you.
form.
Sweet.
Fill out the form.
You good?
Well,
On
I'm
that?
just saying.
Fill out the
Oh,
form.
you did ducks?
That's what it was
Okay.
loaded to. So I just
Fill
went
out,
with
fill
it.
out,
Just duck
fill out
it.
the form.
All right, we'll do ducks.
Duck-
I like
duck-
the foodie race.
Duck
Let's
it,
run
fill
it.
out the form. Fill out the form.
All right, let's go.
I think we said fill out the
Shuffle
form.
9 times, please. And try out the sign. Hey guys, Chad is in the bathroom right now, and there's a speaker in there. I'm gonna hold on here. I'm gonna play "Dude Looks Like a Lady" in there. Hold on. Hold on. And I just maxed it out.
And he's singing it.
He's in the bathroom. I just cranked up the speaker in there with "Dude Looks Like a Lady." Oh crap! Well is outside. I forgot about it.
We're going to get copyrighted on
Oh
this.
shit! We're gonna get copyrighted. Yeah, my bad. We're gonna copyrighted.
Way to go,
All right,
Charlie.
never mind. Sorry, my bad.
Last show.
All right, let's go.
Hey.
Did you shuffle it? All right,
I
let's
did.
roll it.
All right. Let's
Roll,
go.
roll that beautiful bean footage.
That's awesome. Look, everybody's yelling at CJ. Fill out the form. I'm just saying, man. We got money, but no form. Poor Weller. Yes, I did. I let them out for a while. How long did it take them out?
A while ago.
Poor guy, he just ran up.
I
there,
did,
too.
yeah.
He's like, screw this crap.
Hey, don't forget, next week we are on a short week because of the spillway, so we will be on Tuesday night next week instead of Thursday. We will have Garrett Gleason with Van Gogh Fast, which is a movie that's going to be basically.
You said that 10 minutes ago.
I know, but just letting everybody else know.
Oh, because we got new viewers 10 minutes ago?
We got new viewers.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, you never know.
I do know.
Just got to let everybody know. Oh, the jet
Chad's
engine.
done. That was a long one. He must have dropped a log.
He must have.
A
Must
40-foot
drop
log.
the
40
deuce.
foot long.
Drop the
Hey,
deuce.
how big was that log?
Oh, dude.
How big was that log?
Good thing you got a super flusher in there.
Dude, that
I'm kidding. I did not.
you
All
took
right,
a
we got
video
10
of my,
seconds left.
Toilet.
I did. We should
You showed it
share
to your
that.
friend? Maybe on
I did
Google
not.
Meets.
I did not do any logging.
Maybe we'll share that on Google Meets.
2 hours is like my limit. For like having
And
to go.
the winner is
You have the smallest bladder right now.
I
Ashley
do.
McAdory.
I swear to God.
Ashley.
Huh?
Ashley, hey,
Yeah,
congratulations.
sorry,
Well, I guess we will be seeing you next week, so we
Sure.
won't have to ship that out to you.
Super flusher in there.
We'll do that on Google Meets.
All right.
Congrats, Ashley.
Yes. Tyler, can you put the Google Meets link in the super chat? You know how to do that?
Yes.
What I do is press the plus button.
Oh,
Oh, dude, you're going to take us off
Can't-
screen.
yeah.
You're good. I saved it.
Nope. Other one. There you go.
Well,
Press
once
that.
again, happy birthday to
Press it.
Mr. Harold
That's the Patreon.
McAdory.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
That one. Press that.
Harold,
Copy and
can't
paste
wait to
that.
see you next week.
That's right.
There you go. And put it in.
And Ashley. And,
And
the rest
Ashley.
of the
Yep,
crew.
that's right.
That's what I'm talking
But
We're gonna
happy
have-
birthday today, bro.
about. We will be there when?
We're leaving Wednesday.
Thursday midnight,
Thursday.
probably.
Yeah. Yep. That's right.
And pin that in the message. All right. Oh, you know what I did again? Alan, if you're watching, you're going to kill me. I have not had time to update that thing. This thing's like a month and a half old. The
Oh,
Patreon
Patreon wheel?
outro.
Oh.
So it's going to show other people in different spots. I'm sorry. So this is the most incorrect Patreon outro you're going to see.
But
Nevertheless, that's the only way you can get out of here.
music by Noah
right.
Witherspoon.
Thank you guys for hanging on and joining
Yeah,
us.
we'll see you in Google
Oh,
Meets.
wait.
Otherwise, we'll see you on
Chad is
Tuesday. Don't
going
forget.
nuts for the
Oh.
mailbox.
Oh,
We do that all the time.
mailbox.
Mailbox. Go back on.
So who won the mailbox?
Well, you got. No one wins anything.
No, who? But no, who?
Who gets the
Who gets the opportunity to
Ashley.
guess? Ashley. Ashley, what is the
Ashley,
mailbox number?
we need a mailbox number. The mailbox number is
Okay,
in
so-
the thing, by the way.
watch
Watch the screws in there.
screws in there.
Yep.
Sure.
Ashley says 014. I don't even know what the number is anymore. No.
Well, up or down. You gotta give them some
Up or
hints.
down?
You said 014.
Come on.
Yes.
You have to go down. And two of the numbers are correct. There you
Whoa.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
We can log that somehow. And it's in the Bourbon and Ballz. We'll do that later.
Damn.
All right. Now get us out of here.
All right.
Guys, Tuesday. We'll be on Tuesday
That's right.
Yep.
with the guy who cut off his ear, Van Gogh.
Garrett Gleason is the director of the movie Van Gogh Fast.
Vincent.
Yeah, we got Vincent Van Gogh going to be on
Yeah.
Tuesday. He's going to come back from the
All
dead.
right.
All right.
Cheers,
Cheers,
guys.
everybody.
Thanks.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.
Cheers.
There's shit everywhere.